the AIS for me was terrific. It was really the start of my cricket career, and without the opportunities that I had from the AIS, I doubt I would have made it where I am today. To play the game as long as I have and achieved some of the things that I've achieved as an individual and part of a great Australian cricket team is probably outside of my wildest dreams, to tell the truth. The thing I'm most proud of is how long I've played the game for. To play over 150 Test matches now and over 351 one-day games. All that started for me as a 15-year-old with my first experience at the AIS. Being part of the AIS Cricket Academy in 91, 92 really sped up my learning processes, and I think that's the best thing about the Cricket Academy is that you go there as a young kid not knowing much about the game of cricket or much about your own game, and you come out pretty much a finished product ready to play first-class cricket and international cricket. So it certainly sped everything up for me. Going there as a 15-year-old, when I left, I was straight into first-class cricket and ready to take on the international stage. The fact that I was playing and training twice a day through the off-season was something I'd never done before. It really just made me aware of what it was going to take for me to be an international cricketer, and I think that's been the strength of the Cricket Academy over the years. It's just taught guys new lessons really, and how professional you need to be to play international sport. I'm in a really interesting phase in my career that I've been around the team for a long time. Everyone knows now that I've stepped away from the captaincy, so I'll have a lot more time on my hands to be able to mentor a lot of the younger guys that are in our team, but more importantly, the younger players in state setups, and more importantly again, the younger players that will be going through the AIS Centre of Excellence up in Brisbane. So it's a big part of my job now, and being around as long as I have, I've got a lot of knowledge about what it takes to be a good international player, and I'm looking forward to passing that knowledge on.
I grew up in rural Queensland, and so the Queensland Academy of Sport was huge in supporting me and my sister Kerry through the early years of my sport. And then once I turned into my late teens and started to show some real promise, the AIS came on board and started to show interest and develop me into the athlete that I've become, both on and off the bike. And I am the product of a government-funded Sports Institute of Australia. So. My accident in January 2008 was a severe accident. Sadly came from a crash that happens at every competition. I just happened to fall awkwardly and fractured my neck and dislocated my shoulder, on top of skin abrasions and a few other bumps and bruises. But it really did put the dream of going to my second games in Beijing in jeopardy. And I remember, the night that I was in hospital with my sister was there, Bertie May, the AIS soigneur, was there, and my coach Martin Barras was there at the time, and I just remember moving the only thing that I could at the time, which was my left hand, and I grabbed Marv and I said, I'll still be right for Beijing, in a hope that he would not doubt me or walk away from me in my attempt to do that. And I was very fortunate that he never doubted that statement or that comment, and supported me all the way, as did the AIS, which was great because I needed it. The medical support, the physio support, the psychological support which I received really did get me through that difficult 7-month rehab, to in the end become the only Australian cycling representative for Australia at the Games to win a medal across any discipline, is really special, given the fact that I was probably the one athlete they thought wouldn't. Some of the best advice that was given to me is only worry about the things that you can control or have an effect of. Be patient, and also be grateful. The opportunities that this country provides you, particularly with our sport and the support of the Australian Sports Commission and the Australian Institute of Sport, are far and above anything that many, many people in the world would envy.
Oh, is that why you were off on the cement? Stony Channel.
Although I'm tall now, I have a very slight physique, and back when I was young and 5 years old, I was even short and had a slight physique. So my two bigger, older bully brothers got hold of me and threw me in a sailing boat, and it half swamped, and I was scared, petrified, cried my eyes out, didn't enjoy the experience at all. But about 2-3 years later, I got into my boat and started racing with my brothers, and it's something now that I still to this day dream about at night, dream about my next event, what happened at the last event, and think by day what I can do better in the sport of sailing. So yeah, I'm still very passionate about it, and I in many ways have to thank my brothers for doing what they did. I think a huge amount. I suppose the initial first phase of that was actually probably employing one of who I see the best Olympic sailing coach in the world, Victor Kovalenko. He was really the linchpin and really set up the programs for our sport through the AIS and using their expertise to get things on track. And now even, I suppose you'd almost say we're up to the third Olympiad of the AIS's support, and we're really moving into technology areas and analysis of that. So it's been a huge area, and it was only in 2004 that I won my first World Championship in Olympic sailing, and here we are in 2011, and I've won 5 Worlds and an Olympic gold medal. So, you know, it's been a huge factor for us. I started in the Australian sailing team before it became an AIS sport, and actually to see the development of the evolution of the sport with the expertise of the AIS has been amazing, and I still find it quite incredible how we can push forward our development every Olympiad and every year. And although I'll be hanging my shoes up after London, I think the sport is only really just starting to, you know, break through in this area, and we can go further forward, looking towards the 2016 and even 2020. The biggest thing is to never lose sight of your goal, and I suppose with that though you've got to really carry a lot of patience with it, and just keep chipping away and working on the little things, and utilise, be open to new ideas, be quite communicative in your thoughts and your feelings, and really just keep working towards that goal. And I know if you keep your eye on the target, but keep that patience to do it, the steps as you go along in the right way, you will achieve it.
The AIS program has been great for us in the hockey side of things. They've put on AstroTurfs that we can train on. The facilities are great, the recovery centre, the gym, everything that the AIS have funded has played a major role in not just my career but all the hockey players' career, and that's why we've been such a successful nation in hockey, and hopefully it continues. I think just coming here for the first time in '99, training with the Australian guys, it was something I'll never forget. I've always wanted to, you know, reach my potential. I guess that was the start of the start of my career. From there was come here, train with the Australian players, and then just continually improve my game to what it's become today. Just to enjoy your sport, enjoy whatever you're doing, try to improve every day and become the best player, or become the best whatever you're doing that you can, and it's once you get there it's very satisfying.
Yeah. Like $8 grand. I definitely wouldn't have imagined or even envisaged achieving as much as I have in the last 7 or so years. To have accepted my first AIS scholarship in 2004 before I'd even been to a Paralympics, it was hard to even imagine, I guess, going and winning a gold medal, never alone winning a few. So it was great to have the support of the AIS along that journey, and they definitely were there right from the very beginning of my career. The AIS definitely played a huge part in my development as an athlete. I think getting a scholarship at such a young age definitely helped me in terms of developing my stroke. To have access to the aquatic training and testing unit at the AIS is a huge advantage for us as swimmers, to be able to work on our starts, our turns, our finishes, all our skills in our stroke. It definitely played a huge part in developing my stroke through the early years, and definitely when I moved to the Institute and trained on campus. But not just that, it definitely helped our progression as people as well. To have access to the ACE guys there, the career and education guys, really helped me develop as a person as well. So it's definitely a great place to develop people and athletes as well. I think my most memorable experience at the AIS was probably over a 6-month period. To be part of the first Paralympic swimming program to be set up at the Institute was a pretty exciting thing to be a part of, to get in there and really form the basis of what's going to hopefully be there for a number of years to come. Was pretty exciting to be one of the first to be in there and be a part of that.